You are listening to the Food Scientist Podcast. I'm your host, Amy Zajac, and I'm here with Danny Sussman.
Hey, thanks for making me first again.
And Bryan Pierce.
Thanks for making me last again.
No problem.
Order is restored in the world.
For this week.
As always, we'll start off with our food experience of the week, and then we'll move on to a discussion of fall flavors, including various sweets we have tasted and just general opinions on different fall flavors.
Ooh, well, I had good news. I actually forgot to share this a couple of weeks ago.
Okay.
But I went to the dentist and had no cavities. So I celebrated with donuts, which is how you do it.
I've had like 1.5 cavities in my entire life.
Oh, good for you. Good for you.
And I say a half because it was a little filling. I didn't even need Novocaine for it.
Oh. See, I'm thankful for Novocaine.
Host Amy was allergic to fluoride as a child. We will not talk
tough.
about cavities
That's
and
tough.
fillings right now.
Yeah, I haven't actually had one for a few years now, so yay. And people are like, what, the way you eat? It's like, well, no, I brush
your teeth.
Yeah. It's like, I take care of myself. You gotta, if you're gonna eat the way that we do.
So your food experience was you celebrated with donuts.
I celebrated with donuts. Just like, if, sometimes I've been, if I say I want to lose 5 pounds, when I do that, I celebrate with pizza. You gotta have goals and rewards.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you brush your teeth immediately before going to the dentist?
In this case, I didn't because I went in the middle of the work day. But usually, if it's on a weekend or something, I'll do a bonus brushing.
I usually have my dental appointment in the morning, so yeah.
Just because you want your teeth to be clean when
brush my teeth in the morning,
especially clean.
But I tend to go like in the middle of the workday, like around lunchtime. But like I'm not gonna remember that, and I'm like, am I super rude?
Yeah. Well, no, because I asked once because it was right after work, and I had to go, and I was like, I'm so sorry I didn't have a chance. They're like, oh no, trust us, we see.
Stephen Wright had a great joke about how he was attracted to his hygienist, so he would eat a box of Oreos in the waiting room before he went into the dentist. It's a joke. He's a stand-up comedian.
So then he has all the stuff in his teeth, so the hygienist has to work long.
Even more.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
I thought to make him more attractive or something.
No.
One of his friends.
And if you don't know who Stephen Wright is, folks, look him up.
He's funny.
He's really funny.
He was popular 30 years ago.
His joke is way funnier than Amy made it sound.
Oh, it is. I was just trying to get to the crux of it.
He has a lot of little one-liners like, it's a small world, but I wouldn't want to paint it. Yeah, things like that.
I have a seashell collection scattered on the beaches across the world. Love you, Stephen Wright.
I hope you're listening. That'd be cool.
That would be pretty cool.
Now, for a more mundane food experience.
I'm trying to think. I did have, once I had a mint, like one of those like little, like pearl things that like dissolves.
Mm-hmm.
And I had it on the back of my tongue, like, cause I'm like, I'll always have a mint before I go in, and they just noticed, they're like, did you have a mint or something like that? Like, you actually got a weird dot on the back of your tongue. So I never had a mint again before. I'm like,
People don't want to hear about dentists.
Yeah, Amy just said you
I feel
had
bad
something
for
mundane to say. She called you boring already.
No, I said our shared food experience was more mundane.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, we did.
Oh.
We buffeted together.
We did.
But the big news of the buffet...
You're learning, Danny.
I'm not learning.
You're learning.
The big news is that the buffet has been listening, and they downsized their dessert portions. You could say they cheapened up their desserts, but
I would not say that.
I was able to get my traditional 10 desserts onto like one plate.
And you only wasted a few of them.
Because it was only 1 or 2 bites.
Yeah.
You like 1 bite, evaluate it. Oh, I'm not sure. 2 bites. Oh, it doesn't matter. It's gone.
Yeah,
it's not that I'm learning. It's that the buffet is coming back to me.
Well, you didn't come back with 20 plates and leave a whole mess of carnage.
I came back with what I always come back with, which is 1 of each dessert that I would like to try. The fact that they would make me take an individual plateful, that's on them.
We did mention we were proud of the buffet for having smaller size desserts. There was still a variety. But, yeah, it was a smaller, which you don't need a full dessert, at the end of a buffet.
Right, that's what I've always said. Because really, if you think about it, I didn't change what I eat. I eat about as much dessert as I always eat. Right.
So there was celebration all around that.
They were very happy.
We didn't have to have that conversation for once about you wasting so much food.
And it's not, and I guess I always say this is not my choice.
It's not your choice to come back with an armful of desserts and then go back and get more.
Sometimes he looks like the most skilled waiter there is.
He does, because
with just dishes up his arm.
Listen, it was in a casino.
Stacked and piled.
And like I say in a casino, I play the hand I'm dealt. If every dessert is individually played in a full-size piece of pie, that's the hand they dealt me.
But buffets out there listening, you don't need full-size desserts because people don't need that much, and people want to try more than one. So
right.
You don't need that.
And by people, it's me, and you know what? If you're going to have that, you're going to be wasting, and that's wasteful of you. To quote Taylor Swift, who I just saw, "Look what you made me do."
Oh my goodness!
Look what you made me do. They make me do it.
Oh my goodness! You saw her like 2 weeks ago, and you're still in the afterglow.
Of Tay-Tay? Yeah, I am.
Maybe she's listening too. Maybe she and Stephen Wright are somewhere listening together.
Could you imagine Stephen Wright and Taylor Swift sitting together and listening to
our biggest
for
fans.
their weekly date of listening to our podcast?
Yeah, and they're like, right now Taylor Swift is geeking out, and I quoted her song. She's like, "Oh, that's so
and
good."
Stephen's Wright is like, "Someone's talking about me."
It's like, why did they ruin my joke?
Oh.
At least I credited him because I remembered it was from him, so that's a good thing.
We're gonna have to do another homage or insult poll.
So down, Danny.
Yeah.
You need to shake it off
and
move on.
I knew you were in trouble from the start here. But hey, it's fall.
It is fall.
It is fall.
And all episode we're talking about kind of fall things. Last week we did pumpkin spice and
that's like
2 weeks in a row we've had so much sugar.
That's so much.
I think you could tell listening to Bryan.
I think
I was rocking back and forth. I'm like, we gotta start, folks.
I think pumpkin spice is the canary in the autumn coal mine.
Yeah, there are many. Well, there are a few other fall flavors. I was going to say many,
but once pumpkin spice starts showing up, it's all following.
Pumpkin spice season is just expanding earlier and earlier. It's like Christmas. Wait, already pumpkin spice? It's the middle of summer.
And the Halloween flavors.
Yeah.
All right, we talked about the wonderful Halloween candies that are out.
Mm-hmm.
The Easter ones that are rebooted into Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
That is great. There's also the special Halloween flavors.
There's also candy corn.
And candy corn. Should we start with the M&Ms?
Sure.
Yeah, because there are
3 flavors.
Well, there are 3.
There's 4 actually.
Yes, yeah.
So
there are 3 that we have today, but we know of an elusive 4th one.
Yes.
So today we have M&Ms that are flavored like candy corn.
Widely available.
Mm-hmm. Pumpkin pie.
Widely available.
And I like this name. It's Cookies and Screeem.
Actually, and this is a Target exclusive. I'm going to have you read the name as it is on the package, Bryan.
M&M's, Cookies and Screeem, dark chocolate.
No, but read the word Screeem. Cookies and Screeem! There's how many E's in the word?
There are 3 E's in it. And it has the universal font type thing.
Of scary, yeah. Screem is spelled Screeem. There's no A. It's just Screem.
Yeah, and then we did not find the pumpkin pie. Not pumpkin pie. Pecan pie.
It's a chocolate pecan pie.
Oh.
Allegedly Walmart exclusive.
Yes, I could not find them anywhere in the area.
And I couldn't find it within me to go into Walmart to look for them.
That's saying I didn't look.
Yeah. So if we find them this fall, maybe we'll bring them back sometime. But today we do have the candy corn, Cookies and Screeem, and pumpkin pie to talk about.
I liked the Cookies and Screeem, of course, because it's chocolate, M&M chocolate.
I mean, it's an Oreo M&M.
Yeah. It's a dark chocolate and white chocolate M&M. It actually doesn't I didn't know that they could do with M&Ms.
Yeah, I mean, I could taste it. I mean, really, the cream in an Oreo is very similar to white chocolate to begin with. I mean, it's not as thick or, but I wouldn't have even known really that it was white chocolate if you hadn't told me.
Right. The key start of this one is to bite into it and look at the cross section.
Right.
Because we've seen M&Ms that are filled with nuts or peanut butter, have something inside of it. But this is the first time I remember seeing that's just chocolate and chocolate.
Right. And the outside is speckled. Well, I mean, the packaging says it's speckled to be black and white.
They just didn't want to take the care to make it a solid chocolate.
Okay, some are more than others. I guess the ones that I looked at did look pretty much just brown, but there are some that look like they're moldy, but they're not. It's just the speckle.
They're brown and white.
Is it supposed to be spiderwebby? I don't know.
No, it's supposed to just be speckled.
I know.
It's just enough to make you scream, like the night sky. The packaging
makes you scream.
It does. If you look at this, look at the picture. This is definitely what I always like on M&M packaging is how they anthropomorphize the
they're
this one.
The M&M is scared.
This one, he is definitely scared of the dark.
I wish we were a vampire.
And there's some subtle ghosts in the sky.
Yes,
but that is scared of the dark, which is why I think that it's the night sky.
It's the M&M that's most reminiscent of Scooby-Doo.
The others are pretty, nonplussed as well.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
they're all screaming.
These are not the happy M&Ms.
The pumpkin pie and the candy corn.
And the candy corn.
I mean, they kind of look like Charlie Brown,
They're definitely confused about their situation.
I liked the candy corn M&Ms, but I'd rather just have candy corn. Regular candy corn.
See, candy corn to me, I don't really enjoy, and it's mostly the texture. These weren't as bad as I thought, because I guess I don't hate the taste of candy corn as much as I thought.
The M&M in this package.
In all three of these.
Yeah, but on this one in particular, not only is he confused, but he's coming out of a corn stalk. He's wrapped up. There's he's in a corn stalk, as if
he's like
corn.
The husk.
Yeah, he's in the husk. The
he's
candy
orange.
corn one. So this is technically white candy corn. I think they mean white chocolate candy corn. Yeah. But it just says M&M's brand white candy corn. I don't know why they got to make it that way, but there they are. This one made me shudder.
Is this the one that gave you goosebumps?
Yes, I had my hair on my arm stood on.
I was witness to this.
I was like, oh. I have never had that visceral reaction.
See, I thought it was the pumpkin pie that you were eating.
Yeah. I did not like the pumpkin pie M&Ms.
I didn't either.
They were not good.
No. They didn't taste like anything.
They tasted like dirt. I don't know.
No, I don't think they tasted like
this
dirt.
M&M, by the way, he's busting out of it. Also confused. Because he was trapped inside of a pumpkin.
Yes.
And had to and stood up and broke his way out of it.
He's making the same face as the corn husk M&M.
A very similar face.
But the interesting thing about all three of these is that M&Ms themselves are much larger than regular M&Ms.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think kind of hurt them. I think that for the candy corn, I didn't need that much of the middle of it. And the cookies and Screeem, too, I didn't need that much of it.
I should say the pumpkin pie is also a white pumpkin pie.
That is, I just noticed that, too. I don't know if they mean, because there's a little blob of whipped cream, I don't know if they mean whipped cream.
No, it's white in the center.
Or just white chocolate.
It's just all white in the center.
Yeah. The pumpkin pie one, it to me was run-of-the-mill pumpkin spice. It was okay.
It wasn't even pumpkin spice. It was bad imitation pumpkin.
It didn't make me my hair stand on end.
Oh, see, it didn't make my hair stand on end, but I really don't like it. I'm not even gonna bite into it again.
Now, I've never had this, but if I had a creamer that had a pumpkin flavor and it was very faint, that's what it would remind me of. Just a very faint, bland pumpkin taste that really didn't do much.
Maybe that's why I like this one, because it's not that pumpkin.
Maybe.
I don't like it I wouldn't buy the whole big bag of it. But
no, it's more white chocolate flavor than anything.
Yeah. So the candy corn is white chocolate, but it has a strong. Would you call it a candy corn flavor?
Yes, I would.
So
I lied. I ate another pumpkin pie M&M, and I just don't like it.
So should we play our favorite?
I think we should play FMK. Frolic with, marry, or kill.
Oh, you're looking at me. I will kill the pumpkin pie M&Ms. That one is easy. And even though I like candy corn flavor, I'd rather have regular candy corn. So I'll frolic with the candy corn M&M. And that leaves marrying the cookies and Screeem because it's all chocolate and chocolate's good.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to go with the same answer as you. The pumpkin pie can just be put in the ground right now. Get back in that pumpkin and get back in the earth. That's dead to me. The candy corn, is something I'll frolic with. That's something that I don't want year round, but now and again, hey, that might be fun. And then the cookies and Screeem is the most consistent one, so I'd have a relatively happy marriage with that.
I don't know what to do here.
I know you choose.
I know I must choose.
It's one of those hard weeks. I know.
Well, because like the candy corn one, it made me shudder, and it made my hair stand on end, and I was very much uncomfortable. But the question is, do I kind of like that?
Because it made you feel something.
I did. I felt something I haven't felt in a very long time. But do I want to feel that again? Ooh. And so I guess since you don't really know, you would frolic with it.
Ooh.
So
because
I might not like it, but
because it was painful, but you kind of liked it.
I would try.
That tells us something.
I would try it again. I don't know that I liked it, but I would try it again, and maybe I would come to enjoy that.
M&M.
The cookies and Screeem was a disappointment to me.
I'll agree with that.
It has a picture of, he is screaming in horror, but Red M&M here is holding a pile of Oreos. And I really wanted this to taste like Oreos, and this tasted nothing.
I think it tasted. Oreos. Oh, I thought it tasted like Oreos, but you don't have the cookie, so you're losing that texture there. You're losing something.
I'm gonna kill it.
You're entitled.
And what that means, as much as it pains me, I don't know that it's gonna be happy, or it's gonna be a long time. But pumpkin pie?
What?
Will you marry me?
Wow.
We want you to end this now.
I'm going to object now before the wedding even starts. I cannot support that one. I cannot support that one. How come you liked the cookies and Screeem, though? So once you rather...
But it's not what I thought it would be. I'll forever be...
He's against deception.
I'm forever going to be wanting to be something it's not.
Yeah, you don't want to start off with a lie.
You know what? Pumpkin pie, you are what I thought you would be. Like, I'm not going to... You know what? It's about communications and expectations, and pumpkin pie didn't lie to me. It is what I thought it would be.
Okay.
And sometimes, sometimes people find themselves in marriages for different reasons, right? And sometimes, like you've seen people, and you're like, oh, you know what? They're just settling.
You would settle.
Like, that's clearly what this is. I'm not saying that this is a healthy choice for me.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's serving my long-term best interest. But you know what? I tried all three. I was with all of them, and I've got to pick one to marry, and,
all right.
I'm going to go with pumpkin pie.
Well, you know what? I got to say this. None of these are ones that I would choose to eat again.
Nah.
No, absolutely not.
Nah.
Give me a regular one any day of the week. Or, better yet, give me the peanut butter ones. Please, someone.
Or just give Bryan a jar of peanut butter.
Yeah. I think that's empty, isn't it?
It's empty.
Yeah.
We have our studio mascot, which is the peanut butter
hair.
With the hair and the eyes, it's just so weird.
His eyebrows are on his hair. Yeah. But it's empty.
Oh, by the way, the Halloween peanut butter M&Ms have a different hairdo.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
They're wearing a costume. Yeah, they're wearing a costume. They smear the peanut butter a little bit differently.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Well, it's a disguise.
Yeah.
But hey, we have other news here. We have a return.
Bum, 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 bum.
Of the apple pie Oreo.
Yeah, limited edition.
Yes. Now, these came around last year, but our podcast was not around then, so we thought we would talk about these today because they are back, apple pie Oreo. These are good.
Graham-flavored cookie.
Yes, with apple... Is it apple pie they're calling it, or just apple
pie
flavored cream?
Apple pie flavored cream.
Yeah. I like them, but this is one of the sweetest Oreos ever.
It is pretty sweet.
Yeah.
It's like an apple candy flavor.
And I love that the cream fills the width of the cookie. It's not just...
This is one where you really feel the extra cream filling that the limited editions tend to have.
Mm-hmm.
And especially on the lighter cookie.
Yes.
Like, it all complements together, but it's a sweeter cookie. There's a lot of sugar going on in this.
Yeah, it would be hard for me to eat more than a couple of these at a time.
But I bet you could do it.
Oh, I could. Yeah, I
could you?
Packages?
Goals.
When you say it would be hard for you more than a couple, does that mean
a couple packages?
When you split them apart and make your own double stuff, you wouldn't be able to put a third layer of cream.
No, that because the sweetness comes from the cream. That'd be difficult. So I would give it a shot. I would try.
You would double stuff it, but triple stuffing it seems really. Well,
I never double stuff my own though.
Really?
Yeah. Huh. I mean, except for the podcast when we're doing weird things.
Double mega.
But speaking of stuff, the packaging itself was the classic understuff.
Like this one especially seemed understuffed.
Mm-hmm.
Because not even all the columns had the same number of cookies.
No.
And here's and the thing with limited edition, one, it's an understuff in that the package isn't full, but also, I was shopping the Oreo aisle, really paying attention. The apple pie and most of the limited editions, the net weight of the package is 10.7 ounces. Just the standard pack of, OG Oreos.
It's like
15.
Is it 15? Okay, I was going to say 12, but yeah.
I
mean, the packaging alone is smaller to begin with, but then you have fewer cookies.
And significantly smaller. Like, when you look at the shelf, you're like, oh my gosh, that's a tiny package.
I mean, it's a square. It's more of a square than a rectangle like we're used to with the package
and if
of
Oreos. If it wasn't empty, it would be a rectangle, but the wrong way.
It would be, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, you just got to expect that when you buy any limited edition Oreo. But these are good. I recommend getting these. I recommend trying them. But just know they are sweet. So if you don't like a lot of sweet stuff.
Part of it, I think, too, is the consistency of the cream. It felt like this is a softer cream than we usually see.
It might be.
That was part of it. I don't see them in the box that we have in the studio, but my first package of these, I ran into at least 2 Oreos in which one of the cookies was upside down.
Yeah, that happens sometimes.
It does happen sometimes. But what made this really weird was how deep the imprint of the Oreo cookie was on the cream.
Oh.
Because normally the cream holds up enough where you wouldn't really see that. This, I mean, it was like a clear stamp right in there. I was kind of amazed by that. So, that's something that happens.
I'm just proud of you that you got Oreos and you ate a lot of them without throwing them out.
Yes, you did not throw out your cookies.
A few weeks ago, you had a little issue with throwing cookies.
You literally tossed cookies, and not a euphemism for being sick.
Yeah, well, that's because I had like 5 packs of them, and I was eating all of them in one day.
You're not going to live this down, Danny.
Not for a long
time. Now in the studio, everybody is doing that. They're actually making their own.
It's easier than you would think. You could do anything. It's like silly putty.
Yeah, it's super soft.
Like get a newspaper.
So we have all of these with the Oreo imprint in the cream.
It does take the imprint very well.
I don't think that most Oreos would take the imprint like that.
No, because there isn't as much cream, and so when it doesn't even line
even
the whole
the
cookie.
limited edition ones, I mean, that's super soft.
Yeah, it is. That's something we'll have to try in future.
Yeah.
Future Oreo tests.
That test. Can we talk about another test that we had this week?
Yes.
We tested Amy.
Oh, we did.
Amy told us that she loves...
It's not a test.
No, you said you love candy corn.
She said she loved candy corn.
And she already said that on the podcast today.
White, yellow.
You said candy corn.
And then we said, I wonder if you can guess what the flavor of these are.
Yeah, so like it's hard when it's coffee-smelling, brown-colored candy corn.
But there were 3 different kinds of candy corn that we gave you.
Brock's, who, they're kind of like the top end of the candy corn.
If there is a top end of the
if you're gonna buy candy corn, that's the brand to buy.
Yeah.
I noticed that there's a lot of different color varieties this year, not a lot of flavor varieties.
Well, there are even ones, they are selling them with peanuts in them.
Yeah, not in the candy corn, it's just a mix of candy corn.
That's because candy corn's pretty darn sweet.
Yeah, the candy corn peanut mix isn't bad. I mean, it still has the problem of having candy corn in the mix.
Yeah.
But
I haven't seen that as
prominently.
Yeah, right. This year it seems like that's more of a thing.
You know what I saw this year that was really weird? So there's like the traditional orange and white candy corns what's the third color on those traditional ones? Right.
Yellow.
There is
orange, yellow, and white.
Brown on some of
There's
them
ones
well.
that are brown, and the brown ones I have seen from the same brand in some stores labeled Indian corn.
I have, do we still see that?
Yes, this year I have seen it labeled as both Indian and Harvest, which means that there are stores that's making the decision, do we still go with Indian or do we call it Harvest? Because the product is the same.
What does the packaging say?
Well, there's two packaging.
Because you said the stores were deciding.
Right, because the packaging, it's the same candy corn.
Yeah.
It's the white, orange, and brown.
No, I get that.
And
I was just saying, what does Brock's call it versus the store?
No, Brock's has
it.
Brock's has it with both names.
I mean, I'm just going to say
And the store gets to decide, do they want to buy it labeled Indian or do they want to buy it labeled
I'm just going to say this, because we don't get into too many social topics here, but it's 2018. We know better. We know better. Come on, Brock's. Come on.
Right, but it's the stores too. Because there's a store that's I could order this as Harvest corn, but forget it. We're going to order it as Indian corn.
Yeah, it's
very strange.
It is.
They're like, we'll be like more.
We'll use a term that's not really relevant anymore.
Right, but if your store still wants to, we got you.
We
know you probably
We need to get the candy corn Oreo.
That's from a couple of years ago.
I know.
You really don't.
We do.
No, you don't.
We don't.
I also like the candy corn pumpkins.
We need to.
Now those are better. Do you like those, Danny?
You know what? They're a little bit too big.
Yeah, they're not really candy corn because it's a different flavor.
Well, it's just.
It's
like a different texture.
It's still very waxy. It is a different texture, though.
Yeah, it's a lot. I don't know.
They also make Christmas candy corn, which is red, green, and...
Yeah,
that tastes the same.
Oh, yeah, I saw the patriotic ones. They had red, white, and blue. Mm-hmm. When I did my shopping this year, I was looking for all the different weird flavors. A number of years ago, Brock's made a brunch mix. And the brunch mix was French toast and maple syrup, waffles and strawberry, and chocolate chip pancakes. And those were good. But let's go back to the ones that we sampled here.
Yes, because we're all talking about candy corn.
The cafe favorites. There's a caramel macchiato, a vanilla latte, and an espresso.
These were delightful.
These were the least repulsive coffee-flavored things I've had.
Hey, you're coming around.
Because candy corn makes it better, but it's still not good because it's coffee.
I think what maybe saved some of them for you is the caramel flavor in them.
Mm-hmm. Well, I had the strongest one first.
Yeah, you picked the espresso one first, so that was maybe
the others
unfortunate.
Were not as strongly flavored.
But I like these because I like coffee. I like my different coffee beverages. So if I'm going to have candy corn, these are the ones I would pick.
Yeah, these I don't think I could make a distinction so much between the flavors. It was more like strong, medium, soft.
It's one of those things where when you are told this is what you're eating, you're like, yeah, I get that. Otherwise, you're probably not going to.
Now, I watched an Alton Brown show where he made his own candy corn. Sure. And often I like his shows because, like, for example, I love the green bean casserole that's often made with canned soup and so he shows you a better way to do that with homemade stuff. But the candy corn process, and as a candy maker, I knew this was going to take a while. It was like almost a multi-day process to make your own candy corn. And at that point, I'm like, why would I do that? Let me just buy it.
Especially when at the end of the process, you're going to have candy corn.
Yeah.
Because not only was it making the candy and rolling it out and letting it set and then rolling it into each other. I mean, you did this 3 times for each of the colors. And it was just, Elton, I love you, but that was a miss.
Now, did you both know the classic candy corn colors? Did you know when you stack that?
Yes, you can make corn.
To look like a corn. Yeah. That's neat. I only learned that a few years ago. So that. Yeah, I've never tried that because that would mean buying candy corn.
And then you did that with these coffee ones, it would just be brown.
Yeah, that would kind of look like...
Harvest corn?
Yes, that's where I was going with that.
Although I will say that the picture that you see of this process on the internet involves candy corns that are far more precisely shaped than ones that we have.
Yeah, we're being silent as Bryan is showing pictures. That's kind of not good for a podcast.
I tried to do that with these brown ones.
Yeah, if you tried it at home, it would be a very lumpy piece of corn. It would be a misshapen ear of corn.
Yeah, I think.
Just stick it in a bowl and eat them.
Or don't. That's probably the better idea.
Leave them on the shelf. Let someone else enjoy them.
I would say this. If you want to torture your friends, go back to my favorite Halloween trick-or-treat trick game, which is to just get like a half-pound bag of M&Ms and dump one package.
Like 10 times on the podcast.
Dump a bucket of Skittles in there. I did see there's new Skittles out that are it goes with both Halloween and football season. They're called Trick Play, I believe. And so what it is the colors don't match the flavors.
Oh.
And so what it is they have all of the flavors and all of the colors, and each color can be one of two flavors.
So the purple's not necessarily grape; it can be something.
So like purple is going to be like grape or apple, but apple could be like purple or green.
Okay, here's the thing.
At least it's not like grape or snot.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Who is eating one Skittle at a time? No one.
Right. Well,
right. But there are people like me who sort their Skittles. So if I'm grabbing a few purple at once, and some of them are apple and some of them are grape, that's going to be weird.
I want to know how many people sort their Skittles. That's really interesting to me.
Because they're different flavors. And I saved my favorite flavor for last.
You know what's more interesting to me, which I see happen, is the M&M sorters.
Yeah, that one doesn't make as much sense.
That doesn't.
Because that's chocolate, or chocolate.
Right.
I mean, when I was little, tan was my favorite.
Mine too.
It's like, why?
You know why? Because there were fewer of them.
There were, it was more.
It was a treat. It was a rare treat. I remember when the blue ones were added.
Oh yeah.
And they brought back the red ones.
Right, the red ones came back when people agreed that
the
red
food
diet coloring
scare.
Yeah. But the blue ones, when they came in, I remember one of my roommates had gotten some, and there was another roommate who really wanted to try them. So roommate one is like, "Hey, I had some M&Ms today, and I had blue ones in the package." And roommate 2 says, "What did they taste like?" And roommate 1 goes, "Blueberries."
Oh, no.
And roommate 2 goes, "Really?" And he goes, "No." Roommate was like, "No, it tasted like an M&M. It's just an M&M colored blue."
I was going to say Smurf poop, but whatever.
Which might taste like chocolate. We don't know.
We don't know.
Exactly.
We don't know.
Maybe somebody knows.
Moving on from candy corn and Smurf poop and blue M&Ms.
And other fall things.
Danny also brought us a limited edition Hostess Donette.
Oh, yes, Donettes.
Oh, yeah.
I like donuts in general.
I forgot we were going to talk about these. I would just meant these as a snack.
But we're talking about
But they are a limited edition for the fall.
And
Caramel Crunch.
And they are Hostess Donettes.
And we needed more sugar.
I love Donettes.
Yeah, they are good.
I love the Crunch Donettes. I love the chocolate-coated ones.
I mean, my only issue is that they're small. They're donuts.
Well, yeah, that's the point.
I know.
I don't know.
I actually sealed them up, Danny. You're going to have trouble getting them.
Yeah.
I had to take a picture after you opened them.
Well, I didn't know we were talking about them. I just brought them to my.
You were pawing at them like an animal. That's like, I can't get
You know what? People might wonder what caramel has to do with fall.
These are Caramel Crunch mini donuts. Now, caramel
apples?
Because of apples, mostly.
And caramel crunch, like the topping of a Dutch apple pie.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Caramel, I guess, is a fall flavor now. I'll take it, because I like caramel. Yeah. That's fine. But yeah, I was a little surprised to see these with other seasonal things.
Yes, they have autumn leaves on the package.
Now, am I making this up, or were there caramel apple ones as well?
I have no idea.
We'll look for those maybe in the future.
I don't remember.
But
it does remind me, I wanted to talk about
apple pie.
Apple pie when we talked about the apple
pie
Oreos.
The crunch topping of a Dutch apple pie.
Yeah, that's right. The Dutch apple pie has the crunch topping. What is your favorite? Do you prefer the Dutch apple pie crunch topping, or do you prefer the just the
pastry
pie crust?
I mean,
well, and then there's 2 pastry crusts too, right?
Top and bottom, or bottom?
Well, always. If there's not a bottom crust, it's not a pie. But the
you
top,
can have bottom only.
You could do the top as like the solid pie crust, or you see the braid.
Oh, the lattice.
The lattice, yeah.
I mean, as long as it tastes good to me, that's what I care about. But if I'm going to have the crumble, I'd rather just have an apple crisp. Go all out.
See, I love Dutch apple pie. The regular apple pie with the top crust, whether it's... Well, lattice is better. When it's the full... The ratio of the pie filling to the crust has to be right. Because I've had some apple pies where it's not that thick, so it's almost as much crust as pie filling when you have the top and the bottom, and I don't like that. So if you have a well-filled pie and a nice thin flaky crust, top crust is fine.
The crust will make or break an apple pie, in my opinion.
I agree with that. I think the crust makes or breaks any pie.
But so this is why I often like my pies to not have a top crust, though, because people don't always get that ratio right.
But if that's just covering for a bad pie.
I'd agree with that. I would agree with that.
Or they ran out of ingredients, so let me throw on more
I would say this.
crust.
I used to be the Dutch apple pie crunch top. Used to be. But then there's actually went to Amsterdam and had their apple pie, which is amazing and has whipped cream on it and is a mile high. It's more of an apple cake than a pie. It's so good. I'm going to set that aside because that made me realize what we call Dutch apple pie is an imposter.
No, it's not.
And it led me to believe that I didn't know it until you just said it, but you're correct. I would take an apple crisp. So you need to have the top crust. But it's got to be a good pie.
Do you like it hot with ice cream? Because my brother loved hot apple pie a la mode, or cold, or room temperature, not cold.
Well, you asked a few different questions there, Amy. So
I don't.
I'm going to dissect that. I'm going to ask them. Yeah, but I want to ask them separately because I think with any pastry, it's a given that hot is better, right? I think you could take a crappy cookie, warm it up, and it's a good cookie. So you should always be eating your pie
warm. Going back
to
buffets, they have cookies on a little warming tray. They're not fresh, but they're better because they're warm.
Well, no, I was going to say fresh out of the oven is what I think of when I think of a hot apple pie. Not rewarmed. That can be not.
But either way, your pie, any pastry should be warmed. But I think the question that you're really asking is, what do you want with it? Because you can get your pie plain. You can have it with ice cream. You can have it with whipped cream. Or in the Midwest and Northeast, you'll sometimes see your apple pie with cheddar cheese.
Yeah, you can keep that away from my
That always seemed weird to me, but it's not as weird as I thought. It's still not traditional to me. Like I said, my family had hot apple pie with ice cream.
No, I don't want cheese on my pie.
There's more to this.
Not a lot. It's not like a big
I know, it's
coating.
just but still, it's like if I want cheese on a pie, give me a pizza.
This is all you've got on that?
That's all I got on that.
Because before the podcast I asked, and you're ask me that in the podcast.
Yeah, well, because I wanted to save opinions for the podcast.
I thought you had a particularly strong
No, I mean, it's not that I would throw it back at you if you gave me a piece of apple pie with cheese on it, but it just, don't. Don't do that.
What about
eating raw apples with cheese is also good.
I've had the cheddar cheese on it. It's okay. What else would you put? Was there anything weird you
Okay,
put
so
cheese on?
I would not put whipped cream on apple pie, though.
It's not one I usually put whipped cream on.
Yeah, like pumpkin pie, anything,
because
that.
In the southern part of the U.S., they put whipped cream on their apple pie.
Yeah, and I mean, that's fine. It just doesn't seem like for me that would go. I would much rather have ice cream if it's hot. Make a little pie a la mode. What's very interesting to me, though, is when people make an apple pie out of Ritz crackers and there are no apples in it. Have you never heard of that?
Oh, that sounds like an abomination.
Yeah, it's a mock apple pie. But it tastes just like an apple pie.
Does it use applesauce?
You know what? I'll have to look up the recipe to say for sure. Maybe I'll make one for you for next time.
Oh my!
We'll see. I've never tried that. I can make a cake, as we know. I can make a cake, but I've never tried a pie.
Your cake involved root beer.
Well, yeah, that was for the podcast. We were going to try more of those soda cakes, too.
Never did.
Oh, right, we were.
Did.
Oh, well.
I know why.
I don't think it enhanced it that much. Kind of like I don't think cheese will enhance an apple pie.
Depends how much you like cheese.
I love cheese. Keep it. It's fine. I would prefer my apple pie with apple pie.
There is no apple in the mock apple pie.
Well, that's why it's mock.
Yeah. I know, but I looked up the Ritz mock apple pie. Okay, yeah. He asked if there was apple.
Oh, yeah.
He said you have to look it up.
Apple sauce or anything would be an apple flavoring.
Water, sugar, cream of tartar, Ritz crackers, refrigerated pie crust, lemon juice, ground cinnamon. And then there's a topping of Ritz crackers, brown sugar, cinnamon, non-hydrogenated margarine, specifically in Cool Whip topping.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of work.
So basically, they're just using cinnamon and hoping.
But
It looks pretty apple pie-ish.
Yeah, and it tastes like it too. You would not know. I mean, there aren't chunks of apples in it.
But what do you get?
Obviously.
Are you just like saving the cost of apple?
Yeah, I couldn't tell you.
I have no idea why you would do this.
Like,
Honestly,
it's not like you're like.
I have all these rich crackers. What am I going to do with them?
It's not like you're like save the trees.
I don't think it's easier unless.
Because there's crackers in the filling and there's crackers in the topping.
I mean, you don't have to peel apples. I guess that might save time.
Because I can't think of a reason like you would want to do that. Is there like apple allergies? But then would Ritz crackers be where you would turn, or would you just give up on apple pie?
I mean, you might really like apple pie, but I've never heard of anyone being allergic to apples. I suppose it's possible.
Maybe it's a financial. Maybe it was back during the war when they were sending all the apples to our boys overseas.
Yeah,
but you still wanted something American as apple pie.
I love that the Cool Whip goes with the mock apple pie as opposed to real whipped cream.
Could just be the
Just a side note there.
But yeah, I mean, another thing that I just want to mention about fall, like the apple orchards are seem to be the place to go when things get cold.
Getting fresh apple cider.
Yes, going there for
hot apple cider, spiked apple cider.
I go for the cider donuts myself.
Oh yeah,
really?
those are good.
Yeah, you don't like the cider donuts?
Yeah, no. Apples can be tricky. Like apple flavor is fine, but if it has chunks of apple in it,
no, they don't.
Some
I'll bring you to my favorite apple orchard.
Okay, yeah, we'll go.
And they have
apple picking.
No, you don't even have to. You know what? They don't even have like where you pick.
Oh,
your own
you
apples.
can't pick apples.
No,
I like
you just
pick your
buy
own
bags
apples.
of apples.
Yeah.
I like pick your own apples though.
It's fine, but they have a lot of the oddball apple varieties, and so they don't really want the unwashed.
Well, it depends where you go.
Unwashed masses in a mug.
I love in Michigan they have lots of cider mills because of all the water and rivers. You get a mill and you get fresh apple cider, not pasteurized or anything. It tastes different than the stuff you buy in the store. But they get the cider donuts, plain cake donuts, you get glazed donuts, and you go there, you get your hot apple cider, a jug to take home, and a box of donuts, and you can enjoy the fall colors and spike your hot apple cider.
Ooh. Now, what do you spike it with?
Whatever's handy.
You name it, okay.
She's like orange juice.
No.
Because I'm trying to think of what would be best with that.
Whiskey. Not an expensive one, but like
I could see that.
Oh, cheap wine.
Oh, gosh.
Maybe rum.
Rubbing alcohol. Right now,
a little NyQuil.
Every
a little NyQuil in there.
Yeah, ever like sometimes
maybe some hot damn.
If you go to the right
cinnamon schnapps.
If you go to the right gas station, they don't put anything in the ethanol.
That could be a fall beverage.
I think we've had too much sugar.
I think we have.
I might have had a lot of sugar.
I think we need to go. Woo! Before we spike who knows what.
Anyway, let us know what your favorite fall traditions are, your favorite fall foods, beverages. What do you spike apple cider with?
And what do you do if you wake up one morning and find that you're married to pumpkin pie?
Oh, no. We're here to help if that happens.
Yep.
Thank you.
And thanks for listening.
Have a great week, everyone.
Bye-bye.